We're going to move straight on into our next panel. So we're looking at advanced packaging solutions for the food industry. This affects all of us. When we work with the supermarket, we order takeaways, and also people in the industry. Well, what's really happening in the industry, and where should we be investing our money for really clever packaging or intelligent packaging of the future? So I'd like to invite up to the stage Mr. Fahad Al-Mani, Engineer Tamin Al-Matari, Dr. Rashida Samal, and Dr. Michael Cheetham. If you could all come up and sit underneath your photograph on the stage. I can see Dr. Mike coming up. I know we have... Oh, good. I think we have Engineer Tamin here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Before we start with the questions, could you just give us 1 minute on who you are, where you're from, just generally, so the audience knows a bit more about you. If I could start with you, Mr. Fahad.
Thank you very much. I'm Fahad Al-Nani. I'm the founder and chairman for Pure Polymers for Industry. Actually, I've spending 20 years into working with the private sector. We have established Pure Polymer in 2017, and today it's a closed joint stock company, and hopefully it will be a listed company. We mainly working into the additives for the plastic industry, from its infrastructure, packaging material, and all of other application.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Tamim Al-Mutairi, working in the packaging function at PepsiCo. And my focus on the packaging innovations and operational excellence, and also supporting the sustainability agenda in PepsiCo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First, on the personal level, because everybody is going to wonder, I have Algerian background, but I don't speak very well Arabic, so that's what I can say in Arabic. I am a French-born lawyer. I have this Algerian background, and I specialize in food packaging. From the European Union perspective, we assist clients in assessing compliance of polymers, intermediate products, converters products, or brand owners product from an EU perspective. And I work for an American law firm that is based in Washington, D.C., and the particularity of the firm is to have in-house scientists, because as a lawyer, I don't have the scientific background to understand the chemistry behind our clients' questions.
Dr. Mike?
I am Dr. Mike Cheetham. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer at Hotpack. We have 25 factories around the world, most in the Middle East. I've been here 20 years. We manufacture from everything in aluminium, plastic, paper, bio, plant-based, and we're looking forward to becoming one of the largest food packaging manufacturers in the world.
Thank you. Mr. Fahad, I'm going to start with you, because I know we've got some people in the audience not familiar with the packaging industry. What distinguishes food packaging from conventional packaging, and the most significant challenges facing food packaging in Saudi?
Okay. Maybe the main difference that can make the food packaging different than any other type of packaging is the way that we are looking for the packaging material. When we speak about food packaging, we are not talking about something is carrying the food. We are talking about something protecting the food. And this is here the misunderstanding always about the packaging whenever we're speaking about food industry. Whenever we speak about food packaging, that means we're looking for a product that can protect the food, can give the food long shelf life, can protect the food from any external impact, can meet the regulations as well. So that's what makes the food packaging more complicated versus any normal packaging for any material. And I believe here is the challenge. I see the main challenge is how to balance between all of these factors. And I think from different market to different applications, there is different definitions need to be identified about what's make this food packaging different than the other one, because what works here might not work in different country. So I think it's the number of factors are not it's not one or two factors. It's a many factors. It's changing a lot, and I think that's what makes the food packaging is more complicated and more different than any other industry.
And do you specialize in food packaging at your factory or across the board, different types of packaging?
Yes, actually, into our industry as a master batch or in the additives business in general, packaging represents big share of the product portfolio. And usually, whenever there any product that can make sealing for the product easier, or the product more durable, it will not be affected from damaging or from whenever we are sorting the product. Or how we can make the product more sustainable by using some material can help the product to be degrade faster or whatever, or make the product antimicrobial. All of these additives, we know it whenever we speak with the plastic converters or with the plant owners, whenever we know their needs and we develop the product based on these factors.
Thank you. Engineer Tamim, packaging is advancing rapidly. You know, we see sensors on packaging now and things like that. It's a very interesting field. What are the most significant packaging innovations in the food industry at the moment being adopted by your company or that you see in the general market?
At the PepsiCo packaging innovation driven by three key pillars. The first is performance performance and consumer experience, as well as sustainability. From the performance point of view, we are also continually working on the material to make it lighter and stronger and easy to use. Moving to the second point, which is the consumer experience, the innovation about making a part more convenient and functional and also easy to use. The last part, which is the most important point, is sustainability. In the PepsiCo, we have a vision 2030. PepsiCo 2030 vision, which is supporting also Saudi 2030 vision, mainly to make emission like 0% and also make 100% renewable electricity. This is an example, and we are also driving the multiple example in PepsiCo to make multiple programs, especially like we call it PepsiCo Positives. This is mainly supporting PepsiCo agenda as well, other activities around also Saudi Arabia.
So I just want to go back to the customer experience. I find that quite interesting that you consider that.
Yeah.
Because I've never thought about my customer experience with packaging. Can you just give me a few more insights into that area? Do you research customers about what they think of the packaging, or how do you decide on that that aspect?
Yeah, of course. The customer trust is very important for us. We are not protecting the product as well. We are moving to be build a good consumer trust to have by selling a good brand and also a portfolio of the back itself, that we make it a decision for the consumer to take the purchase decision.
Okay, that's very interesting. Dr. Rashida, your expertise, what should we understand by smart food packaging? I mean, maybe from a legal aspect or just in general?
From a legal perspective, smart packaging is not really a term that is being defined in EU legislation. I'm going to talk about EU legislation because it is my area of expertise. However, we have in the EU a regulation dating 2009 distinguishing active packaging and intelligent packaging. So we have active packaging now, which are packages that are releasing substances to absorb, for instance, oxygen in the packaged food. That's oxygen scavengers that we find in certain really, especially in Europe, we find them in food supplements bottles. You have also moisture absorbers, and you have also this another category that is regulated in Europe, which is intelligent packaging, which are intended to give information on the condition of the packaged food. So like time and temperature indicators, for instance, they change color and give information on the condition of the food. Besides that, smart packaging could include, because we have seen a lot of initiatives taken by the Commission, European Commission, to promote sustainability through the new, for instance, packaging and packaging waste regulation, where they use digitalization of the labels to inform on the composition of the product, the presence of substances of concern, but also to enable the traceability of the product and the presence of instructions of use that would be conveyed. And you know that when you have a label, a small label, you cannot really translate everything in the 27 languages of the European Union, and this is going to be really, really good. We have also a client, for instance, who is supplying RFID labels, and also they are used by industry and the customers of our clients to put on food packaging, to give, there is a chip that is going to store some information on the product, but there are also some danger in this type of labels, because our client was consulting us to make sure the customers are going to remove the label with the chip before putting that on the microwave. So there are a lot of innovation that I'm seeing through my client requests, basically.
Thank you. Dr. Michael, distinguishing conventional packaging from the more advanced examples we've just heard, in terms of sustainability, things like food safety, I don't know if that comes under sustainability, but you're the expert, shelf life. You told me an interesting story on stage about food packaging is not just about what we see in the supermarket, it's also boatloads of stuff that need to be packed coming from around the world as well. So tell me a bit about the conventional versus the advanced innovations.
So when I started sustainable packaging 10 years ago, there were 4 R's. There was reuse, remanufacture, reduce, recycle. There were just 4 R's. So we tried to design our packaging around that. Also, we have to have food safety. Remember, this is in contact with the food for a long time. And there are different standards. For example, PFAS has recently been identified and can't be in the packaging now. So we have constantly evolving food safety standards. Sustainability is taking the lead now. We've gone from having 4 R's, we now have 14 R's. The most recent one is rotable. Rotable means you see it on the airlines. Means you have the product, it's made from plastic, for example. You use it, you take it back, you rewash it, use it again, rewash it. It has a shelf life. Often on the bottom you'll see a date encoded, and then when it's reached the end of its shelf life, it goes back to the factory to be melted down, reused and rotated round. So we have all these kind of advancing technologies, but the key driver at the moment is sustainability. At one time at HotPack, probably 6-7 years ago, we thought we would never buy another plastic machine. And then the evidence started to come out. What we need to do is make sure the decisions we make are not just fashions. Everybody jumped on PLA as a great product, but then we found out PLA is not being properly recycled. There's no recycling centers. And everybody's now jumped on paper, plant-based. And as the evidence has come out, it seems that everything is important, especially with good plastics. In Germany, let's just have a bit of audience participation. What do you think the recycling in Germany is of PET? Put your hand up if you think it's 50 to 60%. 60 to 70%? 70 to 80%? More than 90%? It's 96% in Germany. Unbelievable. When the minister told it me, I nearly fell off the chair and I Googled it. So that is a perfect solution. If we can do, in this country, I know we have the willingness to do better than that. But these kind of technologies now and the evidence-based findings are driving the solutions.
So in terms of HotPack, what are your most innovative technologies at the moment? Give me three.
Three, okay, or three. The first one is if you take one of the largest yogurt manufacturers in this country, I won't say who they are, you might guess. They came to us with their existing yogurt pot. And we said, that's okay, we can make a yogurt pot and we can blow tiny bubbles into it of nitrogen or carbon dioxide into the packaging, like a honeycomb effect. It will reduce the weight of it by up to 50%. But at 30%, it's even stronger because of the honeycomb effect. And that's reducing that company's plastic consumption by 30%. Huge. Paper cups, major problem. We have them here. We live our Arabic coffee. The problem with paper cups is they have a plastic lining. That means it can't go in the plastic bin for recycling. It can't go in the paper bin for recycling. And therefore, we've developed special technologies, water-based coatings, which allow it to be compostable, recyclable. It ticks all the boxes. The next generation is mineral-coated cups with clay, calcium carbonate, seaweed. They don't have any plastic in them at all. But there's two.
Thank you. That's really interesting. I like the seaweed idea. Yeah. Dr. Rashida, how's the packaging industry addressing the growing challenges of the food industry while also developing durable, lightweight, and cost-effective packaging?
Oh, that's a good question. At least in the EU, industry is really struggling in that we have a lot of legislation dealing with sustainability, interconnected, overlapping sometimes, and SMEs, there are lots of SMEs in Europe. They are really struggling to figure out how to handle these connected legislation, sometimes contradicting legislation. And one of the biggest problem at this time is the packaging and packaging waste regulation that has established a certain number of requirements, but many of these requirements need to be implemented by the European Commission, and they don't know what where they are going. So there have been a lot of discussion at this time with respect to how to ensure compliance with the PPWR while maintaining competitiveness, because the concern of the industry in Europe is really product coming from third countries that would not have the same level of safety. And that's why the European Commission is really trying to make the import of recycled material from third countries, but also of plastic waste as used as the input from third countries used in Europe, certified, so to speak, to be suitable for food application. So in the EU, they are the biggest challenge because we have minimum recycled target that are set in the plastics in the PPWR. And if you don't have enough feedstock to produce recycled material, how are you going to do? And you probably have read in the press there are several big chemical companies, some of which have shut down some of their facilities just because the situation is very challenging for the industry. As another, of course, I like that the products that are being placed on the market that's sustainable for my son and future generation. Everybody here would be happy to see that the kids are going to have safe food, safe packaging, because indeed the packaging is important when it comes to food safety, because there is migration of packaging components into the food. You mentioned earlier the restrictions on PFAS that is set in the PPWR, with certain restrictions that are even difficult to eat. And there is a huge debate today on how are we going in Europe to meet those restrictions. But in a way, these restrictions are important for the future, but there is a lot of competitiveness issues for the industry. So for the Saudi market, we have heard the ministry here talking. I think it's really important to learn from the lesson in other countries, especially in Europe, where the legislative initiative in terms of circularity, sustainability have been numerous, but I think they have been too many within a short period of time, and it's very difficult to meet all the requirements because besides the EU level, we have also the national level where certain member states like France are enacting a lot of restrictions, specific legislation, and you cannot really manage all this legislation, especially again, the European Union is made of mainly SMEs and they are all struggling. But again, for good, because it creates opportunities.
Thank you. Thank you. Engineer Tamim, in terms of QR codes, sensors, RFID, smart labels, where is PepsiCo on this journey? Can you just give us a bit more about, the traceability aspect and, what PepsiCo are doing with these advanced technologies? Some examples of different types of packaging, just so the audience knows where you're going with that.
Sure. The digital integration, especially in the PepsiCo, is the more important. As we are moving with the high technology, we are using, especially in the industry. This has helped us also in the, especially you make one example like a QR code. This has helped also the consumer to attract any product information, also sustainability, or should the nutrition details. Those information, it's when we implement the QR code, for example, this has helped also the consumer to, again, as I mentioned before, it's building the consumer trust.
Yeah. And are you seeing a lot of interaction, say, with the QR codes? Do you measure that to make sure that people are using those QR codes? Or the other technologies, how are people interacting with that? Are they educated enough to be interacting with that?
Great. We have one department is fully just receiving like a consumer complaint. This is, for example, those guys that came like from this QR code, especially we are using this to just like recalling a product or for example, what we have, if we had any issue, for example, like, as they mentioned, any issue happen like a metal happen in the bucket, for example. Once they complain it, we do like a full investigation based on the QR code example.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Fahad, over to you. Tell us about the packaging solutions offered by your company, Pure Polymers. In particular, why is your packaging different from some of your competitors?
Okay. Whenever we're talking about solutions that we provide to our customer or to the markets, we are thinking from different aspects. If you want to focus into the sustainability part, that's it's had its own parameters. But whenever we're talking about sustainability, for example, we are looking how we can develop lightweight or thin wall applications. I think there are a couple of success stories, even in the local market, some of them published and some of them not published. But we have a case of one of the local brands who reduced 18% of their packaging material. Even the consumer, they didn't notice that there is 18% less plastic into the product. When we go to another solution like the OXO biodegradable solution, for example, we are approved by SASO to develop this OXO biodegradable solution in collaboration with Symphony Company. It's a UK-based company. Some companies facing their own specific cases, like a company facing an issue in the ceiling, and this ceiling cause a waste for the food, for example, or some of them need the durability for the product. So for each customer, we have different solutions. But I think we need to hear from both the brand owners and from the plastic converters, because listening to one party is not giving us the full picture. So that's what we are trying to do. Today, we have even collaboration with some of the universities to develop some compostable material by using some natural material as a plastic replacement. So I think it's solutions are many, but we need to identify what's work best for the customer and for the country or the market. And if they care about sustainability, we need to care about the sustainability environment or the environmental solution, not a customer or single case solutions. Because some solutions will notice that it might be good for a customer, but it's affecting the system more than helping the system for environmentally. So I think it's a lot of applications. It's a very wide applications. I think hearing from both brand owners and manufacturers for plastic can help us do the right product to the customer.
Thank you. We're coming close to the end. I'm going to ask you each for 1 minute, about where you see advanced packaging, the most important development in advanced packaging over the next 5 years. If you could go first, Mr. Fahad.
Okay, advanced packaging, I think one of the advanced packaging solution I see, the smart packaging is one of the main point. I believe it will witness a lot of development. Using compostable material is another thing. The monoplastic applications, especially for the sustainability. But I think in the coming 5 years, we will see real environmental solutions that help the environment system more than a single case solution for a specific customer. So I think that's the future, is how to have a system, environment friendly solutions that help the environment in general.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Engineer Tamim?
Yeah. From a PepsiCo perspective, packaging is much, more, it's not only our protective layer, it's like a strategic asset. As I can also say, we can, as a PepsiCo, we are looking on the 3 things: the operation efficiency, as well sustainability, and also competitiveness. This is making us to moving toward to support and help us.
Thank you. Dr. Rashida?
As far as I'm concerned, I think based on the question we are receiving from clients and the knowledge we've built, I think we are going to see a huge development when it comes to recycled materials in the EU, especially from novel technology, recycling technologies, because they are going to be evaluated shortly by the European Food Safety Authority, and once EFSA would put its stamp to show that they are indeed safe for contact with food, then I think the market is going to be huge in Europe in that respect. But besides that, I think we are going to see also a lot of innovative product on the market, like seaweed used to manufacture polymers that are not chemically modified. That was one of the questions we had from one of our clients. Or you're going to see like another of our clients using enzyme to degrade PLA. So the enzyme is really in the PLA.
Sorry, we've got to give Dr. Mike his minute, okay? Thank you. Dr. Mike, I know everybody else has covered everything. I hope there's something left for you.
Sure. So at HotPack, we've invested in the very best Industry 4.0 machines. Many of them can take up to 100% recycled content. And PET is readily available, is increasing, like I said, in Germany. The challenge we face now is how do we identify the packaging products so they can be recycled and brought back to us, like PP, like PS, and so on. How do we mark them? There's systems like Holy Grail, which is inexpensive. Maybe we can color code products. QR codes with traceability, the recycled content. Even with a QR code, you could have your GPS on your phone tell you what it's made of and where to take it to be recycled. That's it.
Thank you. Well, that was really excellent, and I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry we don't have time for questions right now because we are running a little bit behind. Sorry. But can you give our panelists a big round of applause for being with us today? And if you could come to the middle of the stage, we're going to do a group photo. Thank you.